Welcome to Across the Great Iron. Here is my reaction from week 10 of the NFL. And I've got to start off the show today with the Dallas Cowboys. Against the Giants, what an absolute drubbing. The Dallas Cowboys have owned the Giants. Let's not mince words about this. This has been an absolute one-way traffic, to say the least. It was an incredible game watching it from a neutral. This is how I want the Dallas Cowboys to play. It's unrealistic that they will play like this every single game, but this is how I want them to play. A couple of things from that game that I want to touch on. So, first thing, CD Lamb. Let me hear it again. CD Lamb. Isn't this guy just amazing? His performances are more consistent than the British weather. Come rain or shine, in the last 3 or 4 games, he has been balling. And let's not even forget about that catch. The one handed one, the one that he was running off into the sideline. Woo! That was something amazing. I was so excited when he did that. I thought, this is for real. This guy means the business. Absolutely means the business. I mean, what do you guys think about CD Lamb? Is he right now undeniably the best wide receiver in the NFL? Because I think he is. Now, I'm biased. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. But, tell me another receiver that is putting crazy numbers. This guy just beat an NFL record of having double digit reception targets and over 150 yards in 3 consecutive games. That's ridiculous. That is hard to do. I mean, I know that right now receivers are going crazy numbers. Tyreek Hill was hitting 200 yards to the game. So you can kind of say, well, Tyreek was doing that earlier on. AJ Brown was doing that. But right now, I just feel like CD is in his bag, and long may that continue. I don't want to see him tail off. And for me, right now, he's right up there. Maybe not, the best wide receiver because, I mean, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, I might have something to say about that. But I think for my money, CD Lamb is right there, and he deserves all the flowers that he deserves to get right now because he's absolutely in his bag. So last time when I did my show, I was talking about Brandon Cooks, and I was talking about how he needed to get the ball a little bit more, and everyone was talking about the fact that he needed to get the ball a little bit more. Well, Brandon Cooks was cooking. He was absolutely cooking in that game against the Giants. What are you telling me? 171 yards. I was seeing things that I was wondering why exactly this is not happening. And Tony Pollard is not really getting it done. But right now, if we need to take through the air, because we know that the air is the fastest way to travel, I want to go through the air. And right now, going through the air in Dallas is the best way to go. And for me, I'm just excited. I'm happy about it. Long may it continue. Let's get Brandon Cooks in as much as possible. Now, we've got to talk about the Giants. Now, the Giants, you've got to think about what's really going on there. I really felt sorry for the Giants because you've got a ton of injuries. This is definitely not their year. Saquon Barkley will be thinking to himself, yeah, I got my money this year, but do I really want to be in this situation? And the Giants have had this before. Remember Odell Beckham Jr., you know, came into the league doing absolutely amazing stuff, but after a while, he started feeling a little bit disillusioned with what's going on at the Giants. They're just not a winning football team. I know last season they made it to the playoffs. And I think that had a lot to do with the fact that the new coach came in and no one really figured them out. But I think this season it's been much more difficult for them to replicate that form. Every time they play, you just kind of think they might play teams close. Somehow they've managed to lose the game. And Really, really frustrating. It must be frustrating if you're a Giant fan. And I think right now it's about looking for the next season, looking at what that's going to look like. Maybe get the first overall draft pick if they can swing that way, because they need to start this thing all afresh because it's just not working. So it's just not working for them. The other thing that I want to talk about is the emergence of Brooks. Now, you might be asking, who's Brooks? Um, yeah, I didn't know who he was. And, I thought to myself, when Turpin was ruled out of the game, I thought to myself, well, are we going to have a problem? Someone who can do some explosive stuff in the wide receiver room. And this guy just popped off the screen now. I know Dallas, right? We're not gonna see him again. We're not gonna see him again. He came in, he poked his head like, ooh, we didn't expect him to do that. I think he had like maybe three catches, or four catches or so, and he caught all of them. And I think he went for like 49 yards or something like that. And Dallas is gonna start getting, a bit nervy. We're like, ooh, what's going on here? We have too many good players. I always feel like, and this might be just me, but I feel like sometimes that Dallas, they suppress their players because they don't want too many players to shine at the same time. I don't know, because there's no reason why CD Lamb, Brendan Cooks, Ferguson shouldn't all be going off on a daily basis, including Tony Pollard, right? And we saw a little bit of something going with Endardle as well. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what's going on there? Dowdle looks good. Now, Dowdle is looking like what Tony Pollard was looking at last season. And for me, they need to find a way of stitching everything together because this team has so much potential. They've got a window right now, and they've just got to make it work. I've got to talk about Dak Prescott because P whisper it MVP. Michael Parson was talking about this, saying Dak Prescott should be in the MVP conversation. I think he will be. It'll be whispered, but he's not gonna get it, right? Because I think for me, there's too much ground swelling around Dak Prescott, too much negativity around Dak Prescott that he's never going to get the credit that he deserves. I don't care how Dak Prescott performs this year, he will still be looked at as a top 12 quarterback. And that's a standard that is not held for a lot of people, right? I see people come up with their top 10 quarterback, and then you've got the likes of Jalen Hurts, you've got the likes of Josh Allen, you've got Trevor Lawrence, all of these guys, Justin Herbert, all of these guys before Dak Prescott. And it really doesn't make any sense. Now, people are going to talk about talent. The others are way talented that he is. The ceiling is way higher. But this is a guy that has consistently performed year after year, year after year. Now, Jalen Hurts has only performed 1 year, albeit that 1 year he made it to the Super Bowl, right? Okay, so let's see whether he's going to do that this year. He's trending in the right direction, and maybe by the end of this year, you can, start to put him ahead of Dak Prescott because maybe Dak Prescott has not got to the Super Bowl. I get that. But he's only shown this for 1 year, right? And you've negated everything else and you've put him right up there. Josh Allen, throwing picks for fun, right? He's throwing picks the way that, the rubbish guy is picking up litter on a garbage run. Literally, he's just throwing picks for everyone. And there's a stat out there that since he came into the league, he's thrown the most picks of all the quarterbacks. But hey, he's still better than Dak Prescott, right? Who just had a down year in terms of picks, right? And he was injured, came back from injury. No one gives him any excuse. And let's talk about it because if you look at Joe Burrow, the start of the season, everyone was falling over the ground, giving excuses for Joe Burrow for why Cincinnati Bengals were not performing, including myself, because Joe Burrow is a good player. But the scales are really always tilted very differently when it's Dak Prescott. Someone is going to tell us exactly why that's the case. because maybe he plays for the Dallas Cowboys, he's just doomed never to get any credit. So I know that we might talk about MVP for Dak. The reality is that he's never gonna get it. So I think we just move on. I'm gonna be happy with Dak getting to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. Don't matter if he gets MVP or not. I just want us to get there and get the crown. That's the most important thing for me. There's a story that is going on right now about a young guy who's just been let out of Patriots. He's a cornerback, Jack Jones, I believe that his name is. And for me, every help that we can get in the cornerback position, because I still feel that the defense is still an area. It's an area of strength, but I feel like teams are finding ways to still score on Dallas Cowboys, especially when we need the defense to make a stop. And for me, any help that we can get. Darren Bland showed up again and got a pick. I think this is great. It would be great to have somebody else doing exactly the same thing as well. So if he's gonna come to the Dallas Cowboys, I doubt it. Dallas Cowboys just show that when everyone says they should need to do something, they end up not doing that. So, you know, it is what it is, right? Just another Dak in conversation before I quickly go. Listen, Dak's combination with CD Lamb, arguably right now, is probably the best wide receiver duo. And I did a video about this when I was talking about famous duos. And, early on when I said I think it's about time for us to start talking about Jack Prescott and CD Lamb as that legitimate duo right now in the NFL, because I think that they've definitely deserved that based on their performance. And for me, definitely, you've got to start to mention that. Now, let's talk about the rest of the NFL games, because a couple of games that I want to touch on as well. First one, Broncos and the Bills. Great to see Russell Wilson win again. They've just won three straight games, which I think is incredible. The more less to be said about Bills, the better. They're gonna be one of those teams. I don't want to talk too much about them because the Dallas Cowboys play them later on, so this might come back to bite me. But I just feel that the Bills are one of those teams that are up and down. You never know what you're gonna get with them. And to be fair, the way that they lost that game was very, very painful. To lose that for what I only consider to be mental errors, and trust me, Dallas Cowboys have got a catalog of mental errors. You just look at our 49ers game in the last couple of seasons. So I know that's going to hurt them really, really. And they're probably not going to sleep well. I still expect that they're going to bounce back in the next couple of games. So let's see how that goes. Let's talk about the Ravens and the Browns. Now, when I did my prediction, I did talk about the fact that the Ravens always play the AFC teams a little bit differently. And, you could say that Deshaun Watson is slowly coming back into his own. I expect him to get even better. And, the Ravens own the NFC, right? When they play against the NFC, they always own them. But when it comes to AFC, something is different, right? Don't know why that's different, but there is something definitely different. The NFC is heating up, right? It's really heating up. It's like really navigating through the London traffic, and you've got the Lions in there, you've got the Cowboys, you've got the Eagles, you've got the 49ers. Who is really going to rise to the top, right? The Lions are playing very well. They had a very good win against the Chargers. And, they're a sneaky team, right? They're going under the radar. No one's talking a lot about them right now. I feel like they're going to be a problem for a lot of people. You don't beat the Bills, you don't beat the Chiefs without having something. So we're going to play them as well. So I hope we can win that game. And really, really disappointing with the Jaguars. Really, really disappointing. You go beating a 5 game winning streak, and then at home against the 49ers, who have been they're coming off their bye. I understand that. But they've had three consecutive losing games. And if you're that team, you deserve to be playing a lot better. And to get absolutely shellacked, by the 49ers. And the 49ers can do that to you. Like, we Dallas Cowboy fans, we can talk to that, how we got absolutely pummeled by the 49ers, but really I expected more from the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is being lauded as one of this up and coming best quarterback, better than Dak Prescott. I really don't see it, but hey, you got all these guys that are talking about him, but he really needs to be doing more. I don't believe that they are winning because of him. I think that they are winning in spite of him. So listen, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. I do want to say thank you to all the people who keep coming back to the channel, coming back to the content as well. I have to admit, I am finding my way doing it. I absolutely love this, and I think I can only get better with this. So all your encouragement, much appreciated. All our 30 subscribers. Let's see if we can get it to 50. Let's see if we can get it to 100. So if you know other people who like NFL content as well, share this as well. Like I said, I'm just a British fan in the United Kingdom that loves the NFL, loves football. I watch a lot about football. Even though I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, I do watch all the other games as well because I just love to watch football and it really excites me. So if you do like this, give that a subscribe, as well. I mean, what do you guys think, about the NFL season so far? It's week 10. We're going to week 11 right now. Are there any teams, in your opinion, that are really differentiating themselves, from the pack? Are there teams that, are overrated or underrated? Can the Bengals still come back into it? They lost to CJ Stroud. Ooh, I almost forgot looking at my notes. CJ Stroud, you've got to talk about CJ Stroud. Listen, I think he's one offensive rookie of the year, right? There's no question about that. There is no other person you can really talk about when it comes to offensive player of the year and rookie of the year. He's won that. Uh, but should we be talking about him for offensive player of the year? I think he's a good shout for that. I don't know if he will win the MVP. I don't know. A rookie winning the MVP, I think that the biases towards the older quarterbacks will not allow people to really look at him and vote for him. But he's been playing well, absolutely lights out. Watch that game against Texans and the Bengals, and yeah, he threw a pick, which was almost costly, but he was unfazed by that. He was unfazed by that, and it just reminds me of Dak Prescott in his rookie season. Very calm, very poised, knew what he was doing, getting the ball out on time to his playmakers and all of that stuff. He's also thrown less interceptions than a lot of people as well. So hey, CJ Stroud is nice. CJ Stroud is nice. And just finally, we'll talk a little bit about the week 11 games. One that I'm circling, which has nothing to do with the Cowboys, is the Eagles versus the Chiefs. There's going to be a rematch of the Super Bowl. It'll be a chance for Jalen Hurts, to banish the demons. I'm not sure where that game is going to be happening, but I think that both teams have had their bye, and they would have been scheming up, looking forward to this game, as well. So, whew, I'm gonna be supporting the Chiefs, and that's because the Eagles are in the division of the Cowboys, and I also want them to take an L. They're 8-1 right now. I need them to come back to back towards the pack. So let's see. What do you guys think? Do you think that the Chiefs are gonna have a double over the Eagles, or do you think it's gonna be revenge time for the Eagles against the Chiefs? So let me know, all you Chiefs fans, all you Eagle fans, in the comments what you think is gonna happen this Sunday. That's it for me. It's Thursday night football coming as well. I will be trying to remember who's playing in that game. I believe it might be the Ravens. I think the Ravens might be playing Thursday night football. I'll have a look and see who exactly is playing as well. But hey, guys, thank you again. Please like and subscribe. Hit that bell button, so you know when I upload more videos. And if you like this content, please share it with all everyone that you know. And till then, And this is Across the Gridiron, and I'm out.